this a great meeting or what? Well, I want to congratulate all of you. You're all cancer survivors. I knew I'd get your attention that way. Okay, so every single day since before the day you were born, you have been making at least 8 cancer cells every single day. So when you get up in the morning, thank your immune system because it's wiping it out. So we are learning. We are in an exceptionally exciting time because I believe before too long, cancer is going to be treated the way a chronic disease is treated. It's no longer going to be the great death knell that we all think about it. We have an extraordinary time. I mean, when I think back to when I was trained back in the last millennium, the last century, we thought we were going for the cure. We're going to get the magic bullet. And now we realize there is no magic bullet. We're going to have bullets because there are so many, many targets. I mean, we understand things about cancer now that we didn't even know 20 years ago. We're moving away from thinking of cancer as a singular disease or a disease of a particular organ, like the breast cancer, the colon cancer, We're actually moving to a time where we're looking at as the cancer is a molecular mechanism. And the thing that we're learning is that the molecular mechanism behind each person's cancer is almost as individual as their fingerprint. So it's our genetics, our proteomics, our metabolism, and our environment all together make a very unique individual with this disease. And we are now entering a time where we are going to use precision medicine. That's going to be the big word that you're going to be, the words that you're going to hear, precision medicine. We use your molecular signature, not just of your tumor, but also of you itself. And we're going to figure out what drugs or what experimental approach or therapeutic approach is actually going to work on your particular cancer. One of the great frustrations has always been you'd have two people come into the office. They have the same cancer. They grew up in the same street. They have each 3 children, and everything that you can measure about these people are the same. But one person will respond beautifully to therapy and the other doesn't. And we're now beginning to understand why that is. And with that knowledge becomes opens up a whole host of new therapeutic approaches that we can use. And these include now small molecules and things you probably heard, cancer immunotherapy, that's a big one, CAR T cells, which has been in the news a lot. I'm at City of Hope, and we're well known for our work in immunotherapy in targeting cancer. And I'm happy to announce we now have a collaboration with Sean Parker and the Parker Institute for Cancer Immunotherapy. We're very excited. We're going to push the frontiers on what we can do to treat disease so that it is no longer the clanging of the death bell. Now, today is about philanthropy, and I'm only here, one, to tell you all about the wonders of science, but because of philanthropy, I am talking to you today. I never dreamed I would ever work in California. I'm a New Yorker from Queens. I'm from Queens, all right? I never thought I'd be living in California at a place called City of Hope. But a chance meeting with the family of a little girl who had neuroblastoma for 5 years. She got it when she was 3, and she fought it very hard. She had 2 bone marrow transplants. I'd never met this little girl. I met her father when she was in the late stages of her disease. And I was so touched by this man because I had nothing to give. What do you give somebody when they're losing everything? What do you give someone? And as a scientist, the only thing I could give was the work of my hands and maybe 1 or 2 bright thoughts I have. But he lost his daughter, and he and his wife came to me, and these were not rich people in any way, shape, or form. And they said, Dr. Malkas, we know you do all this great work in breast cancer, but if you could do something for neuroblastoma, it would mean the world to us. And they gave me a check for $25,000. I had grant money, but this was sacred money, and I wanted to do something bold in the name of that little girl. So I decided to make a drug. I'm not a drug developer. I am now, but at that time I was not. But there was this place called City of Hope that is a really unique institution. They have put together all the pieces in an academic center that allows you to take an observation from the lab and bring it all the way to the clinic. In fact, our saying is we're 150 yards from the bench to the bedside. So I went to City of Hope, a very unique place, as I said. Do you know that the 4 main antibody drugs that we use against cancer, that work was foundationally made at the City of Hope? They also, you may have heard a drug called Humulin, which is treated for diabetes, which is used to treat diabetes. Millions of people. That came from City of Hope. So Linda went to City of Hope in the City of Angels with a dream that maybe I could do something to help families with little children with cancer. 7 years later, through much help through the City of Hope, we are going to clinical trial against a brand new drug at the end of this year against a target that has never been used before. And the thing is that it doesn't just treat neuroblastoma, but it seems to be effective against all cancers. I get a little verklempt. I get a little verklempt because, you know, I started from ground zero to go and make a new drug. And this is the power of philanthropy. The name of this drug is AOH 1996, and it stands for Anna Olivia Healy. Her birth year was 1996. I always say that I have a small 9-year-old girl that sits on the shoulder, and now she sits on all your shoulders. Never underestimate what you can do. You may inspire a dream in somebody else to chase the mission that maybe you can't do. But we're here to inspire each other. We have way more power than we think we do. Thank you.